everybody. Greetings and happy Wednesday. It is I, your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend Joe Seeby. And happy Wednesday, everybody. And today is our creative writing class that we like to call ghost writing. And for those of you who've never been here, ghost writing, what is ghost writing? Well, it's a very mental, challenging exercise that I always put you guys through, is where we take a popular song that's known on Billboard or, whatever music platform that you guys listen to. But it's it's already an established song that has millions of views and hits and listens. And your job is to take the chorus of that song, just the chorus part, and write your own set of lyrics for it. Now, this is not an easy exercise, and the reason it's not easy is because you have to, the object of this exercise is to write a better chorus than, in this case, the artist blackbear wrote, okay? That's a tall order, and it's kind of cocky to say, but that's the goal. That doesn't mean we're going to do it or we're even close, but it's nice to try, And that's the beauty of this exercise. It expands your thinking, your logic. It leaves you more open to possibilities for changes, When I was a kid, when I was younger, later in life, I learned how to play a lot of other people's songs. But in the very early days, I didn't really want to play other people's music, especially people that I idolized. That music to me was like untouchable in a way. It was like taboo to even mess with it because it was already recorded by these larger than life people. And I felt like it wasn't my business or my place to even try to emulate what they've done. Even though the influence of what they did affected me, I never tried to learn a lot of their music as a kid. I don't know why, but that was the stigma with me, was that. And, so it's really hard. It was really hard for me to unlearn, to do like an artistic stab at something that's already been done, like a stylistic cover, like when you do someone else's song and you put your own twist on it. It's sort of natural to me. At the same time, it's a little taboo because, they created almost a perfection, and for you to mess with that seemed a little bit taboo for me. But over the years, I've learned to embrace it and see where I could take it. And not that this is the exact same thing, but it sort of is. You're taking their exact music. Like, I found a karaoke version of this song, and I sang my chorus right over it. So I didn't have to create my own little track on the keyboard. It's like perfect. Like, it's already perfect. It was like the real blackbear studio track with the vocals taken out. So it was perfect for me just to lay my vocal right in there. This song is really, really good. I really like this song a lot. It has a lot of like rhythmic elements to it, which I thought would be really good and creative for us to tackle this one because even though there's a lot of one-syllable words, then there's some three-syllable, four-syllable, I think even, that really test your metal, as far as your, and remember, the goal is to sing the exact amount of words that blackbear is singing in this instance. If he's got a one-syllable word, your word should be one syllable. If he's got a three-syllable word, you should have a three-syllable word. But even if not, let's say your line starts and stops exactly at his. If you have a word before his that's three syllables, and you have, as long as it starts and ends exactly the same as his, then I got no beef with it. But it's got to rhyme, it's got to make sense, and there's got to be a story. His has a story. So does yours. Yours have to make sense. It has to be a story. It has to rhyme, of course, in the same way that his rhymes. So if the rhyme comes at the second line, so does yours. Okay? Those is the rules. So that's the only rule. You can write about whatever you want as long as it makes sense and has a story. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play you his chorus. And luckily it starts right at the beginning. I didn't have to cue this up anywhere. So give me 1 second. Here we go.
If I were you and you were me, I would say goodbye, turn around and leave. I'd do it all so differently. If I were you and you were me, yeah. I would get up in the middle of a dinner, pour a drink on your head. I would never clean the room and I would never make the bed. Cause if you knew the bullshit I was pulling in the past, if I were you, I'd never...
So that is what we're talking about. That's what we're working with right there, okay? So what I did was I wrote his words down, and then I wrote mine down. And what I did, and this is and I've said this before in other classes, but I really want to reiterate this because it really, really helps with where you are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my lyrics. I'm going to show you Black Bear's and then show you mine, okay? So, you see that? If I were you and you were me, right? And then I put mine. See, it says Bear, Joe, Black Bear, Joe, Black Bear, and Joe. Okay? So I put his line, first line, and then right under his, I put mine. And it matches perfectly. And I do that for the reason so I don't make any mistakes. I can see his word and my word right underneath. And the other good thing about this exercise is it forces you, because you only have a certain amount of words, you have to make that all fit and really make sense and make the story, boom. You can't meander to the story. It's got to really go right to the meat and the potatoes because you don't have that much time to say it in. So it's going to make you choose the words carefully. And this is also good for all the songwriters out there because as a songwriter, you always have to write your second verse. So this is a great exercise as a preemptive exercise for writing your own verse versus second verse in a song. I know that I always give all my best stuff in the first verse. And then I'm always kind of stuck, like, what am I going to say in the second verse? Man, I gave all my best stuff in the first one. And it can really be, like, intimidating to like, okay, now I got to beat what I did the first time and come up with an even better thing. And it's got to move the story forward too. It's like another chapter in a book, like chapter 1 and chapter 2, it just moves on to the next thing, and, it's got to propel the story, If you read, the Titanic, the book, chapter 1 is, they first set sail. Chapter 2 is everything's great. And then the guy meets the girl and they have a relationship. By the third chapter, there's, an equality difference between the real rich people that stay in this part of the boat. And then finally the last chapter is the boat sinking, but not every chapter is about the boat sinking. There's like other things involved before the boat even starts to sink. That's way down the road in the book, So your songs are the same way. They have to sort of tell a story, But with a chorus like this, you have to get right to it. And people have to understand what you're talking about. It can't be like an inside joke, It has to be universally understood. If that makes any sense, I really hope it does. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say my lines. Okay, so here's his lines. First line. If I were you and you were me, right? I would say goodbye, turn around and leave. That's his first, line. So mine is, I can't hold on, I can't sit still, gotta leave today before I lose the will. So, mine fits perfectly with his. And then his says, I do it all so differently if I were you and you were me. And then I say, I take no blame, I need my thrills, you can't hold me against my will. So that's mine. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do the whole thing for you guys real quick. Here we go. I can't hold on, I can't be still, got to leave today before I lose the will. I take no blame, I need my thrills, you can't love me against my will. That's the whole hook right there, guys. That's it. That's the hook. All right, guys, I can't wait to see what you guys wrote to that. All right, guys, that is all the time that we have tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you liked the challenge of this, and I can't wait to see what you write. This is your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend Joe Sebi signing off. Until I see you guys tomorrow, sleep well, have an awesome night, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.